The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debi, a certified holistic health coach. With the W, I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health issues and create a custom, natural, holistic strategy to address them in the areas of mind, body, soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I heal, treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I certainly can make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms. You'll feel better, be more productive, and enjoy life more. Introducing Why Fast, an intermittent fasting program that gets your cells and body humming and boosts your metabolism. It's unique with high-dense nutrition and nutrients. Jumpstart your health by contacting me for details at my link tree via email or appointment at https://www.debi.changes.com/lives.com/linktree, all in lowercase. And get my Black Friday special, which is a family pack of 5 Zyto scans for the price of 4. And you need to move the next slide. The price of 4, and the Zyto scan is a transdermal optical imaging device where I send you a link to your phone and you scan your face for 30 seconds, and it gives you a holistic picture of your health in the areas of energetic, functional, and emotional, seen in body systems and lifestyles. It will give you a report of biomarkers out of line and services that will bring those biomarkers and products in line. I review that with you. And if you move forward with my services, you get a little bit of a discount on my services. So get that family pack because you can divide it up between different family members as a great little gift of health. And you can email me at that same link tree to get a copy of my book that you saw earlier, which is Women Rising, which is a transformational stories of 25 women, including myself. It's a great book to give as a gift to people, where the books are $20, a signed copy is $25. So you would select the email button at that same link tree. Now, don't forget about my Beach Reveal Retreat, that I include a 6-month waitlist journey with 2 months of maintenance and accountability that's tied into you writing your transformational story in a chapter of book at a retreat center in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. You do need to sign up by March 1st of 2024. And if you want to see more details about this Beach Reveal Retreat, go to my show at https://bit.ly/beach for beach, R for reveal, S for show, all spelled out. If you want to ask me questions, feel free to go to my link tree, either email or an appointment link, and ask me questions. And I can help you with that. And you do need to sign up at that same link tree address. Now, in times of stress, I want to, you can remove the slides now. In times of stress, having a guiding light can make a difference. Dagmar Fleming not only found me, but also invited me to the Athena Circle, where I received valuable advice about a challenging situation. Dagmar is a success catalyst. She started as a global global business strategist, and transitioned to an energetic healer. She empowers leaders through her innovative approach of a triple quantum reset modality, enabling them to surpass unconscious mental and emotional barriers to unlock innate potential. We both specialize in mindset and emotional coaching, yet Dagmar's experience of energetic healing does set her apart. Today, I have the privilege of discussing the impact of mind-body fusion, emotions as physical energy with Dagmar. Dagmar, welcome to my show.
Hello, Debbie. Such a pleasure to be here with you and to speak with your audience. I can't wait what we will uncover in this conversation.
Fantastic. You know, I'm really impressed by your background. How did your transformation or transition lead you to develop an understanding of energy and its storage within our bodies?
Well, thank you, Debbie. I know it is quite remarkable because I started in the construction, mining, and agriculture machinery industry. I specialized in creating global strategies for both domestic and foreign manufacturers that wanted to export their products. So when you hear that, you're thinking nothing to do with body, mind, spirit connection. And yet, since I was little, I had these amazing ways of perceiving energy, of seeing events that are going to happen in the future, and have this intuitive insight that transcends the borders of physical reality. So I kept it in the background, especially because I was born in the communist Poland, where we all were supposed to be atheists and not believe in spirituality or connection to that divine wisdom. And I kind of ran my track of life on a very solid, realistic approach. But as you yourself stepped into your life purpose, so did my soul had something else in mind for me. So back around 2010, my innate abilities, the psychic, clairsentience, clairaudience abilities, and many others came to the forefront. And I believe that my soul claimed my purpose and really refocused me on what really matters in life. And that is to live in harmony with yourself, in harmony with your soul, and with harmony with the physical experience, which entails your physical body.
That's so important, Dagmar. You know, I can relate. You know, I've had some deja vus. I don't know if that's anything similar to what you experienced, but it's amazing when this deja vus happens. Like, oh, I've been there, and it's happening now. So I can relate a little bit to your story. Now, can you share some pivotal experience that shaped your understanding of your mind-body connection and the role of emotions in our physical well-being?
Well, yes, absolutely. So, what ended up happening to me back in 2010, I started changing my life. And what I mean by that, I was running a very successful global consulting company. And yet, I would go to all these networking events and trade shows, get the leads, get the contracts, but my heart was not in it anymore. I wasn't following up with these opportunities. And at the same time, energetically, my abilities were being increased. The energies were flowing through me. So I realized that on some level of my consciousness, I was sabotaging my life and redirecting it to the path that I should be on. And that happens to a lot of people, by the way, where you suddenly lose a job that you've had forever and you thought this is the job where I'm gonna work till I die or till I retire. And in that process of sabotage, of suddenly demanifesting all my dreams and goals, I've downloaded through this intuitive insight the deep understanding, which became the foundation of my modality, how we as humans process emotions and experiences that happen in our lives, how the core wounds from our childhood get lodged within the physical essence of our body, but also within the mental strata and emotional bodies, and how we end up prolonging the agony of the experience by recreating it in future, and as we will probably uncover in this discussion, eventually lead to physical illness and disease within the body.
I can relate to that. I know that when I had a child and I had my mom, declining with Alzheimer's, I lost myself and I gained weight, and I had a whole bunch of other, health issues going on at that time. And I felt like I lost my purpose because I was doing something that wasn't, I was doing things, I was really happy to have a child, but I just was like so stretched and, and overwhelmed by everything going on that I wasn't really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and our external world is the projection of our internal world, in other words, of our thoughts and minds. So it's kind of hard to enjoy the reality that you're creating, the child, the new opportunities, new job, new partnership, when within you, inside you, there's something that's pulling you back, that keeps you unsatisfied, unhappy, because unfortunately the focus that we have internally manifests what happens to us externally. That is the foundational principle of quantum physics that operates our reality. So I think what's important in what you do, Debi, is that you bring people back into that connection with their emotions and with their body. And when they understand that both the mental side and emotional side are connected to the physical aspect, that's when they can get the breakthrough that they want to get the release from whatever is ailing them.
Yes, and it's interesting how your soul does direct you too. My life, something came into my life and just changed it. Even I was on a health journey, and then something came into my life and changed it, and made me so much happier, and made me more wanting to do something different and be happy with what I was doing, and still bring up my child, and still that it just kind of gave me a 180-degree shift with my perspective and how I felt about everything going on as well. So
absolutely. And you mentioned something interesting that I don't think a lot of people will pause for a moment to understand the correlation between the emotion and physical reaction in the body. You said that I was very unhappy and I put on weight.
mm-hmm.
Many people don't realize that the body literally protects itself from the onslaught of these negative emotions by creating this physical cushion around you, around your field, and around your energetic aura, so that you can withstand the impact of these negative emotions. So my body naturally adds weight and loses weight, and I never diet, because I know that if I'm overworked, if there's too much going on, I will put on weight as the way of cushioning the blow, the impact of that blow. And when my life stabilizes, when I relax, the weight naturally just vanishes. And this is the easiest way to observe what's happening within your mind, by observing the body. And yet every single disease that we have in our lives is direct reflection of the mind, because what we need to realize is that the body is the translator of the emotional and mental state that we're in.
Yes, exactly. And, when we have emotions, it kind of manifests like in our bodies, but it can also manifest like in traditional Chinese medicine in different organs. So you can have, when you're really in it, in an angry state, it can affect the way your liver is processing the foods and the fats and everything else that's going through your body system and slow things down. Cortisol, will also slow your metabolism down. And stress with emotions triggers all that to happen. It creates that cascade of health issues. So it's really important to manage your emotions so that your body can be more efficient, and be able to release that. And I gave you some examples of how things manifest in organs, but with your background, can you give us some examples of how and specific emotions manifest physically in our bodies and how they impact our overall health and well-being?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of times in sessions with my clients, we talk about the core wound, the time when certain negative pattern got created and instilled into the way we're thinking, into our perspectives. And in years of working with my clients, even though we are working at the level of energetics, so you can imagine it going from top down, because from the energetics into the etheric, into the emotional, mental, and physical, what I observed is that my clients' bodies, the physical bodies, started asking me to be part of the clearing process. And it's fascinating because the everything about the modality that I brought forward, called triple quantum reset, is founded based on the concept of holistic integration, of understanding that both the conscious, subconscious, and energetic have to intertwine during the release process so that it's permanent. And in that process, what I didn't realize is that we worked with the body, but we didn't acknowledge it. And in those sessions with my clients, their bodies asked literally to be part of it. Now, this may sound a little bit like woo-woo, but how many times we have had the reaction within the body for something that's occurring to us emotionally? Think the first time you had your test in high school and your stomach was going crazy. That was your body literally responding to the stress, saying, I can't handle the anxiety. I am stressed. My all organs and tissues are in full alert. That is your body talking directly back to you, saying, take a deep breath, relax. And we have these conversations with our bodies at all times. Unfortunately, our educational system has taught us to not pay attention to our own bodies. We go to the doctors who are trained in medicine, and we certainly appreciate their advice. But at the same time, we rely on other peoples who are not inhabiting the body that we're in to translate the message for us.
Yes.
What if we took a moment and just tuned in and said, well, my shoulders are hurting me a lot. Am I taking too much responsibility? Am I responsible for everyone in my life? Is my family telling me what I need to do for them and it's just overbearing? Because again, your body will show you what's going on at the subconscious level, and you just have to listen to what it's saying.
You're so right on that. And sometimes when, for me, I call it gut instinct. Women have, intuition, and you really need to listen, and men do too. But I'm just saying, you really need to listen to your gut. And sometimes when you have some health issue, I mean, it's amazing. I've had doctors tell me and chiropractors tell me, God, you're very aware of what you need help with. And I'm like, yes, I am. Because I listen to my body. After releasing all that way and becoming healthier, I know exactly where I need to work on. If I have some stress and the stress is just building and building and building, I notice I'm off balance. And so I see a chiropractor. I go to a chiropractor that does NUCA, who does it immediately, just little touches on the neck. And that pain is back aligned. And I can feel the pain because sometimes I get this thing down my arm. I feel it retreating back up to my neck. So it happens really quickly. I can feel it when he does the adjustments. So I'm very aware, to the physical. And I'm also aware of, mostly to the emotional. I think everyone is not perfect, you know what I mean? But it's interesting how you said that the body's role is the translator of our inner emotions, because it really is. If you pay attention to what your body's telling you, you pay attention to what your subconscious is telling you, and you be able to release these ideas and thoughts that are dragging you down and lift up like a balloon, like you're releasing those ballasts and lift up a balloon and be such a happier, elated person. So
absolutely. When we think about the progression of how we process emotions, they all start in the mental body, which means you've got a thought. The thought says, I'm not good enough. I cannot speak. I cannot run this program. I cannot become a director or vice president in this company. That thought produces a reaction that's emotional. There is perhaps fear or shame or guilt or some kind of resignation or excitement. Whatever that is, if it's negative and it has not been resolved at the emotional level, it will descend into the physical body, because the emotion, the energy is in motion and it needs to go somewhere. And if we're not willing to let it go, to release that thought that is influencing us negatively, then it needs to descend to the lower body, which is your physical body. And then it gets stuck. This is why chronic diseases or cancer or severe immunological issues, we don't even look for the source of that yesterday, 2 months ago, or a year ago. We need to go back to childhood, because by the time you've got a chronic disease, that means that you refuse to address that emotions over decades. It's sat there within your body, within your subconscious, and you kept pushing it back into the bottle. And because it had nowhere to go, because the energy was stuck, eventually it started rotting, just like a wound that has not been cleaned. And at that point, the disease progresses. So my invitation always to everyone who is conscious and is on the path to increase their body, mind, spirit connection is to really tune in to what patterns of thinking, what emotions they are running on that go back all the way to childhood. What is holding you back today that occurred to you decades ago? Because I promise you, if you don't resolve this, sooner or later, your body will do you service by projecting it to your consciousness, by mirroring it back, by reflecting the problem back to you, unfortunately through disease. Because human beings are stubborn. We don't want to listen. We don't want to deal with the emotions. So the body comes in and tries to bring that concept back into the forefront of our mind, which unfortunately has to do through the disease, because we don't pay attention to anything else.
Yes, until it gets way too much out of hand, like stress and creating that chronic disease and shut down of your metabolism, not shut down completely, but, slowing down your metabolism and making you an unhealthy individual. So that's really important to pay attention to your emotions. And we both work with with clients, in a little different way. I work with clients with neuro tools. I work with audios. I work with deep dynamic breathing, as well as I help them, reframe their thoughts and give them an idea that, it kind of lights them that, oh, this way of thinking, those thoughts are not helping me. And sometimes I delve down more when I can ask more questions about what's going on with them. And like you said at the beginning, if somebody's overweight because they have, a blanket of fat, it is protecting them from something. So whether it's abuse, whether for me, it was, possibly not knowing how to be a mother, and then my mother having problems and all this other stuff because my mom wasn't a very good mother. That's why I created that blanket. I had a lot of doubt and overwhelm, and I was a completely different person than my mother. I supported my son. I kept him active. I put him in activities. I did things, and now, I mean, my child is at the University of Arizona doing 2 degrees in music performance and aerospace engineering and getting straight A's. So I really feel like I've really helped him quite a bit. But he has his own journey too. So he needs to deal with his emotions and how he feels, and how, everybody needs to deal with that in some way, because everyone has their own unique perspective, own unique thought patterns. And some things are not related to a family member, but can be related to something else outside the family that happened. And those issues that happen, people have to realize, okay, that was then, this is now. And I need to learn from that and release the negative emotions and move forward and progress to a better life, a better lifestyle, and being more in a positive state. Because it's interesting how you said negative emotions kind of just sink into your body. It's almost like it's multiple layers of emotions that makes it sink more and make it more dense. So you got to peel off those layers, like I peel off the layers of health to improve people's lives with their body and their health. And I also work with their mindset too in doing that process. It's not just the weight loss I work with, the mindset. I work with any type of health condition, because they need to open their mind up to possibilities.
Absolutely. And possibilities is exactly where the focus needs to go to, especially when we have a severe physical illness. Often we are focused on what's happening within us. So we may have a hard time reaching out for a different emotion. I experienced that when I had a severe spinal injury, which through precognition, I knew was going to occur 3 hours before it did. Wow. But I went into the experience because I knew this was something deeply buried within my psyche that my body was trying to show me. And I knew that it was part of my soul journey. There was something there that I had to experience. So I allowed myself to be with that message and to receive it, which I did. But when the pain reached the levels of being unbearable, I had an opportunity to speak with the lady who overcame cancer. And she was really instrumental in changing my perspective on how we receive these messages, because she reminded me to stop fighting. She asked me to be with the pain, to embrace it, and to simply let it run through me and do the work that it was designed to do. It was really a pivotal point in that recovery journey, because the moment I stopped fighting, I went back into love. And this is something that I advocate always for all of my clients, whether this is emotional healing, mental or physical, like illness. When you love the part of you that right now is hurting, is challenged, or is struggling in any way, then I promise you it will actually transform faster. It will allow you to stop resisting, fighting back, and therefore fueling the very situation that you're trying to overcome. So the moment I focused on loving the pain that I was in, loving the part of you that needed to put myself into the state of pain to receive the message from my body and release the core wound I didn't even know I had, the moment this love was embraced in this entirety, I was able to take the next step, to focus on something different, to take focus out of pain, out of struggle, out of challenge, and into the manifestation of the reality that I want to be in. And this is a universal message. whether it's a physical disease, or maybe you have struggles with money or struggles in relationships, we tend to pay attention to that which aches us, that
Yeah,
which ails us. And unfortunately, again, per quantum physics, what you focus on is what you manifest. So by loving the problem, by loving the struggle, by radical acceptance, and that means allowing yourself to extract the wisdom from the situation, not resisting it, but plunging into what it offers, because usually every bad situation is a catalyst for change. It's actually taking us somewhere else because we've been stuck in a discordant pattern, in a polarized situation, and it reaches its culmination point. And for us humans, we don't like that. But it's the way the soul says, you don't like this, go somewhere else, focus on something new, create a different life. And for some people that you work with, that could be a different lifestyle.
exactly. And, you know, I can relate to your transformation, even though my injury wasn't as severe as yours, but I'm a runner. I do half marathons, and I actually broke my foot right before a half marathon. So I was bummed. And then, at that time I was saddened, but I knew I would always get back deep in my mind into running. Um, and I was actually healing really fast. My doctor was really amazed. He was going to take the boot off 4 weeks. And he goes, "Oh, no, I can't do that. You need 6 weeks in the boot." I'm like, "Oh, darn." Because I was healing really fast. But the problem was the recovery of that whole thing, because I was in that boot for such a long time. And I didn't realize the journey I had ahead of me. Um, and I kept injuring myself. And so I just kind of, okay, I got to slow down to, listen to my body. But there'd be different type of injuries. Well, finally, I got over everything. I would say this year, because I fell and I hurt my shoulder, because I was off balance. And then I had some vertigo things, so I couldn't do the half marathon last year. And then this year, I decided I'm going to focus. And I'm going to focus on my business. And so some of that sadness or whatever I was going through kind of, went away, or was distracted. Can I say that? Distracted. The emotion was distracted because it was still there. And then I started healing and I started running. And yes, I did sprain my ankle recently, but I knew exactly, the doctor said it'd be healed and I also broke a toe. So I broke a toe, I sprained my ankle in the summertime, and but I healed quickly again. And with the sprain, the doctor says you'll probably be fine in a week. And I'm like, okay. So I started easing into running, and I had some struggles with it. But I got to say, I've made a breakthrough. I've actually ran 5 miles 4 days in a row last week, at 3 miles, 3 days, 5 miles. And at one time, the doctor says, just slow down. And I did listen to him, but my body was saying, no, you can do it. Just do it. And I did. And I adjusted things like my shoes. I think my shoes were too tight, and things like that. And because maybe it was a hot day, whatever happened, I just paid attention to little things, and I got better. So anyways, I got to say that transformation changed my life. And it really, paying attention and being in the positive mindset and keep on trying and keep on moving, because when you keep your body circulating, it's going to start help with the healing. You don't have to run, just walking. Deep diaphragmatic breathing will circulate your blood and your lymph and help your body be more efficient and feel better. So that's what I was doing at that time.
And the circulation, if I can add, because it's so beautifully said by you, it's not just the body that needs to circulate. It's also the energies, the emotions, the mental concepts, perspectives, perceptions, beliefs. We get stuck in a physical body with a disease because, just like you said, we didn't circulate the organs, we didn't move. What about the emotions? What about perspectives that you are holding on to since you were a child? Do they really work for you anymore? And now I'm speaking to all of our listeners because
Mhm.
we do have to take a stock of these concepts that we've been holding on so tight because mama told us, and daddy and uncle and teacher in your kindergarten or elementary school, and we're running our life on a blueprint from decades ago. What
Mhm.
if we circulate those beliefs the same way we need to circulate the blood within our body so that we bring new oxygen, not into just physical essence of our being, but most importantly, into the entire reality? Let's oxygenate that world that we are creating with new perspectives, new concepts, new belief systems that actually support us where we're going next, not where we've been before.
Exactly. You're just bringing a life, a new perspective of energy into your life, and creating a new life for yourself, which I have been doing with our new show. So, and I'm having so much fun doing it. So I really appreciate the new uplift, facelift, or whatever I'm going through. So, and and from there, there's always growing. It's always learning and doing something different, and reaching out to new people, learning from people like you, Dagmar. And I really appreciate everything I've learned from you because I incorporate it into my life as best I can. And I still I'm a learner. I'm a beginner with you, but I just really have gotten so much value content from you, and I really appreciate you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. We're all co creating this reality. As I always say in the Athena circle in our community, we are all masters, we are all experts, and all we are doing is reflecting back one to another what we already know. Um, and even in our struggles, we learn from each other.
Mm-hmm.
We can leverage each other's support because life is a journey. It's not a destination. There is no GPS address that says that was my life. That life unfolded along the way. So we should
Exactly.
embrace it all, even with your leg being broken and all these sprains. What you were doing is you were processing your reality, and you kept going, and you said, I will go after my dream of running in this marathon, so this body will come with you. And it did. It You took it on a journey, and it followed you. And I think that's the message that we have to remember, is that absolutely everything in our reality is fighting for our happiness, is supporting our joy, and is eager to do everything possible so that we can realize our potential. We just have to let it do it for us.
And it's amazing how the floodgates can open up once you make a decision that what you've really wanted to do for a long time. So that's why I really enjoy doing these shows. Um, One thing I want to ask you though, there's a couple things I want to ask you, but you talk about transmuting energies within your bodies. What exactly, how do we do that? What kind of techniques do you use to do that?
So there are many. I'm going to start with simple ones, and then I will share what we tend to do with my clients in the sessions. So the simple one is first tune in, use your breath, because as you know, many people stop breathing the moment the situation gets tense. And
Mhm,
unfortunately, that takes the oxygen out of the brain, and
mhm,
it shuts down prefrontal cortex, which is like the executive center of our brain that can think logically. And we go into the tunnel vision, which is activated through the limbic system and the amygdala that's always scanning for danger. And breath allows that air to go back to the brain, calm down all these circuits of panic, anxiety, and worry, and
mhm,
see the situation for what it is right now. meditation is highly recommended. And a lot
Yeah,
of people don't like that because they think, oh my goodness, my brain is going like crazy, like that what yapping chihuahua. How am I supposed to sit down and not think about anything? Well, it's actually not possible. So I'm going to call the BS on the whole thing. Don't think anything. But what you can do is slow down the thinking. Bring yourself to this moment and enjoy where you are right now, because that will take you out of the projected fearful future and into
exactly.
the present moment where you're sitting in your chair, I'm sitting in mine, nothing is happening, there is no doomsday coming. And then you can make decisions for your life that are supporting where you want to go instead of creating your future out of panic. And then self-care is very important. Usually when we get busy, that's when we stop playing with pets. We don't go for walks into nature. We don't take baths. These are simple self-care rituals that if you incorporate it into your life, you will truly calm down that exaggerated nervous system. But as far as the actual body, working with the body, if you have an intense emotion and your body starts reacting, perhaps you've got a pain in the back, or suddenly your elbow is hurting, or the eyes are twitching, I encourage our listeners to shut down their eyes for a moment and tune in and ask yourself a question. Where is this emotion in my body? And then allow the body to respond with the simplest answer that does not have to be logical. Perhaps you hear it under my ribs, or in my lower back, or on top of my shoulder. Then take your right hand, put it wherever that spot that was brought to your attention, and imagine that you're energetically grabbing that emotion and pull it all the way outside of your auric field and open it up. Let it go. Symbolically, you're going to work with your body on removing the energetic imprint of that emotion. And you will see that your body will start working with you. It will start relaxing. You will start
Um,
breathing better. So every human being has capacity for self-healing energetically. This is your body, your energetics, you're in charge of it. So use that God-given capacity to work with your emotional, mental, physical, and energetic body.
that's amazing because, believe it or not, when I broke my foot, I concentrated in the area of the healing. And I had to I used a lot of herbals and other things for natural healing. And I was massage it, or I would like link, do like an 8 around that to, because I was told it would increase your circulation and stuff. So I was doing it and it was really working because I just concentrated and I saw the flowing of the blood and concentrated on that. So when you can focus your mind to something like that and then take, I love your, think where your pain is and then grab it and let it dissipate away from you. That's fantastic. I really love that. And I always tell people ecotherapy, hiking. I love skiing. And always I love running. But just getting outside in the environment. I mean, it's when I'm in the mountains and I'm like in my son recently went to Aspen. I love Aspen. And the quaking, I can hear the quaking of those aspen leaves and the shininess of the powder on the slopes, and just blessing my face and the sprinkles. And I just love nature, so that's what I'm really into. And scuba dive is another thing I really love to do too. So
Nature is definitely very healing, and we should work with these elements because, like you said, you like mountains. I love water. Wherever you are drawn to, wherever you get that sense of serenity, that is the way we allow the energy that's polarized to exit through that community with nature.
right. So, I really, I've enjoyed the Athena Circle, and you're the founder of the Athena Circle. And I noticed that you you always do a deep exploration of mind, body, and soul for the healing and being of everyone in the community. And, you kind of mentioned some of these practices, and I do need to wrap up the show really soon. But is there anything that people can look at practicing for integrating of holistic health?
I would encourage all of our listeners to start by realizing that nothing is separate. We live in a world where we believe that to be connected to the spirit, we'll go to church and we'll practice religion there. Our professional life will be at work, our personal life will be at home, but we are actually integrated beings. So the moment you realize that absolutely everything is an expression of you, then you can start truly creating that harmony within you, bringing all aspects together, because there is no 10 or 20 of you. There are no versions of you. It is you expressing yourself in a multitude of ways. And when you bring love and cherish all of that expression together, that's when you become a holistic human being. So let's start by accepting all aspects of ourselves.
Yes, we need to do that. Do you have any offering for our listeners today?
Absolutely. I know a lot of our listeners are looking for ways to increase their abundance. So I would like to share a special guide called 4 Ways Your Brain is Bankrupting Your Bank Account, because these emotions and thought patterns that control our life tend to influence how much money we're making. So I invite you to dive into this short and slightly hilarious guide on how our mind is trying to sabotage our money making abilities and what to do about it.
Okay, wonderful. I really enjoyed our show. I hope I can have you on the show again. It's been
Absolutely. My
wonderful.
pleasure.
Stay on, and I just want to wrap up the show right now. So, you guys heard about I'm getting a jump start with a YFast intermittent fasting program, and it's different because it's using high dense nutrition and nutrients. So you can email me at https or set up an appointment. Debi, Debi Changes Changes Lives lives.com/linktree for more information. And at that same link, you can set up an appointment for a complimentary health and mindset appointment where you get to know me, I get to know you, and I can guide you on your health holistic journey. Also on that link, you will find my services, which are 2 different Zyto scans. One is a Zyto Credo, which is a galvanic skin response device, and the other one is a Zyto Link, and that's what my Black Friday special is. So remember, you can get that package, which is a Black Friday package that ends on December 31st, where you get 5 scans for the price of 4. You save $50. And it will be a transdermal optical imaging app that I send you, that you scan your face with your phone for 30 seconds. And it gives you a report of biomarkers out of line and products and services to bring it back into line. And I will review it with you, and you get a little discount. So it's a great gift of health for your family. Remember that at that same link tree, I have a copy of that book, of that #1 bestseller book. I have Women Rising, which is a collection of 25 transformational stories that you can read, including myself, and get a copy of the book for $20 or $25. So just email me and make a payment, and I'll send that out to you. Contact me about the Beach Review Retreat in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, via appointment or email. You need to be signed up by March 1st of 2024. Yes, it includes my 6-month weight release program, and the everything included in the accommodations and foods and things like that. You can look at the details of my show, which I already mentioned before. Just email me my link tree. And finally, subscribe to my newsletter for my current promos, events, and future shows at https:/bit.ly/radio TV show, all in lowercase. I give you a gift of this 30-day health and mindset journal where you can track your mindset, track your health with your foods and as well as exercise, and review it on a daily, weekly, or a monthly basis. I'm certain you found this episode educational and eye-opening and enjoy it. Continue to enjoy my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.